What's going on, YouTube world? Welcome back to a Little Bit Man Gaming, bringing you another wrestling review video for Monday Night Raw. First thing first, you can hit that like, subscribe, share, and the notification button. Greatly appreciate it. Also, leave me a comment down below. Comment down below if you liked yesterday's show. If you felt like you had something that you didn't like about yesterday's show, you want to share in the comments. Let me know in the comments. Or just let me know how much, what you like or didn't like, or let me know if you like the show overall or you hate the show overall. Let me know in the comments down below. Also, we got to go to 100 subscribers. I wanted to get to that goal, but I want to say thank you to all who watch the videos and all who like and watch the videos, because it helps. It really does help, and I just need to keep it going. Let's keep getting my face out there more and more, because it's starting to work. I'm starting to see the little marginal improvements. I'm starting to see the little audience slowly getting there. Yeah, with that being said, appreciate y'all. Let's get into it. I'm gonna keep this short and simple, because I want the bulk of this video to be just about my discussion what I thought about the episode. But they started off with the mid celebration of his championship match. He basically came out, talk his trash, talking about how he was the best champion, how he is a 2-time Grand Slam champion, and that like people like John Cena and Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, and The Rock, they all didn't compare to him, and the others, to name a few, and that he was the best. And then that would bring out Bobby Lashley MVP to get MVP and Bobby Lashley to reveal that, hey, we had a deal, and that deal, which we saw, but never was told on Elimination Chamber, was that what you probably figured out was, if Bobby Lashley comes, it says John Morrison screwed Bobby Lashley out of the, or they felt like John Morrison screwed Bobby Lashley out of the United States Championship. If Bobby comes out and beat up even already battle weary Drew McIntyre, or whoever walks out of Elimination Chamber as the other champion, which we know was Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley was going to come and beat them up even further, so that the Miz only had to come out maybe and just either pin them or maybe do one or two things to get the pin. And that was the deal. So that's now Bobby Lashley is here to collect, and he wants his championship match. Miz is pulling his usual cowardly duty and trying to stall, saying that he got a press release and do all this and promotion, and he ended up saying that while he's not going to renege on that deal, he will get Bobby Lashley the first, his first defense will be against Bobby Lashley. He just said it wouldn't be tonight, because he didn't specifically tell him when he was going to get it. He just told him he would get it. So Bobby Lashley threatened him, saying that he got an hour to come to his senses, and in that hour time, he suspected they match to begin, so that he could take the title off of the Miz and become champion himself. And that if he don't come to his senses, he will have a new show called, how Bobby Lashley put me in the hospital. Then that would lead to the first match of the night, because John Morrison was already in ring gear. He would go up against Matt Riddle in a non-title match. And it was an impressive showing for both men, but John Morrison ended up getting beat by Riddle with the Brotastic, I think. The Brodacy or the Brotastic, one of the names. I think that's the name of his finisher. That's like the AJ style clash. Yeah, it was a good match. I can't say I didn't enjoy it. Then we got what the best news I got out of this whole episode was a promo package featuring Rhea Ripley, saying that she's going to be coming to Monday Night Raw very soon. So they rebuilding her up. It seems like she's going to keep her NXT music, and I'm thinking this is due to, in part, to that it's about how like Keith Lee didn't get to keep his music. So they letting her keep her music. They letting people from NXT, because they let Damien Priest keep his music, and now it seems like they're gonna let Rhea Ripley. But yeah, great promo, great thing they offered that. We had a segment backstage with Bad Bunny, Damien Priest, and R-Truth. I think R-Truth attempted to get the 24/7 title back, but Damien Priest pretty much scared them off. And then I think I'll save it for my discussion later. But then we got the New Day versus Mason T-Bar. Bore fest, right? Because it's repetitive. Not that it couldn't be a good match. It's repetitive. We've seen this match for like almost a month or a month and a half now, and the whole thing is we need the whole thing while Kofi was even out on injury was that this was supposed to be building up to a 1-on-1 between Mustafa Ali and Kofi Kingston, and I just need to see them pull that trigger. Then we would get then the hour would be up. And Bobby Lashley comes out in his ring gear, and they waiting on the Miz. The Miz comes out, but he's not in ring gear. John Morrison is with him, hopping because he's still hurt from his match with Riddle, and they explained to Bobby Lashley he needs more time. Bobby Lashley basically don't like that's not the answer he wants. He don't want to hear that, so he's getting ready to beat up the Miz, and the Miz and them try to convince Bobby Lashley they just need a week. Bobby Lashley kind of sort of like agrees, but then he gets mad, still try to beat him up again, but they kind of calm him down. Adam Pearce is out there. He's basically saying that sounds reasonable. They give him Miz a week, but it's not going so well. Then Braun Strowman comes out. He demands to know why, that it was an injustice and why that he wasn't put into the chamber match at Elimination Chamber, and which will prompt a surprise from Shane McMahon, who tells Braun Strowman that things the basically him demanding a match that's not how things work around here. You gotta earn it, and he basically tells him that the reason why he wasn't in the chamber match was because it was for former WWE champions. And he said, you yourself just said that you were a former Universal champion. Yes, you are a world champion, but you're not a WWE former WWE world champion. This was for the current WWE champion, and all his competitors supposed to be former WWE champions. And he said, well, that's stupid. That idea was stupid. Everything here is stupid. And that if I can't have the Miz tonight for the title, they give me the challenger Bobby Lashley, which would set up the main event of Bobby Lashley versus Braun Strowman, with the stipulation that if Braun can beat Bobby Lashley in the main event to Monday Night Raw, he will be added to next week's main event of the WWE Championship match of Bobby Lashley versus The Miz. Then we got a match from Lucha House Party that I didn't really care about, was a tornado. The one thing I did care about was the fact that this was the first time in years we got a tornado tag team match on Monday Night Raw. But it was ended up winning by the Hurt Business of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, ended up winning the match. And it was just that's what happened. We got a match with the match with Damien Priest versus Angel Garza, which was a good match for both men. Both men had their impressive showing. They both did their thing, but it ended up being Damien Priest with the win, but still putting over Damien Priest like they should. And then we got Bad Bunny was at ringside. Then we had the other like Akira Tozawa and Drew Gulak and some others come out there to try to get Bad Bunny for the title, but they end up both Bad Bunny and Damien Priest end up fighting off the other competitors that won the 24/7 championship, and Bad Bunny ended up walking out still 24/7 champion. Randy Orton cut a promo basically saying that he was the reason why he was distracted and had been distracted from the WWE Championship picture was that not because of the Fiend, because he took care of the Fiend, but because of Alexa Bliss, and that he's not used to failure, and that's only failure because he's been distracted with Alexa Bliss. But he coughs. Now, me thinking, oh, okay, this must have been like an accidental in the promo, because we all know the infamous Booker T blunder in his promo. So it's possible that people actually do something they're not supposed to do in their promos, but this was actually deliberate to sell the story that some type of black ritual is being done to bring back the Fiend, and that Alexa Bliss is doing, and this causes Randy Orton, once they play a video package of what he meant by being distracted by Alexa Bliss, when you go back to Randy Orton, he finishes his promo by saying that he would deal with Alexa Bliss and basically try to get back into the WWE Championship title picture, but then he starts coughing again. He starts coughing, his chest is hurting, he had to unzip his hoodie, and then he ended up coughing this black goo. I was just like, really? But I'm a fan of The Undertaker, so I kind of get the supernatural aspects of it. So I can't throw no shade on it, but it was just poorly well executed, but still a good promo. We got Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. Charlotte Flair and Asuka versus Nia Jackson, Sonya Blazer. It was a non-title match, non-tag team women's tag team title match, but it was the match itself, which to me was not good, just because it was built more around Charlotte Flair and her drama with Lacey Evans and her father than Asuka being there as the World Women's Champion, and it just felt like since Charlotte came back, Asuka has been put on the back burner. She's like a plot device for Charlotte's storyline, whereas instead of Charlotte being a plot device for Asuka, it's the other way around. I feel like they disrespecting the championship, but hey, that's why I'm glad they said Rhea Ripley was coming to Monday Night Raw, because she's going to inject some much needed energy into the Raw women's title picture. The next match would be Jeff Hardy versus Shamus, and it was that match I really didn't care for, but I understand that it was supposed to be like a build from when Shamus ran over Elias and then trying to frame Jeff Hardy for it. But it still wasn't a match I couldn't care for, but they did keep Shamus' momentum going. I do give him that. Then it's a backstage promo from Charlotte Flair telling Ric Flair, hey, go home, because I'm trying to prove to everybody that I am not Ric Flair's daughter, that I am Charlotte Flair. I need to be me. I need to do my own thing without distractions, and you're basically pretty much distracting me and causing me to do stuff in the matches that I don't do, because Charlotte Flair, I forgot to mention that Charlotte Flair versus Asuka, Charlotte Flair and Asuka versus Nia Jackson, Sonya Blazer ended because Charlotte Flair had a miscue, accidentally big booted Asuka when I think she was trying to big boot either Sonya or Nia, and they moved out the way, and they end up getting Sonya took herself and Charlotte out of the ring, took themselves out, and because of the big boot to Asuka, Lana, but then Nia was able to get the leg drop on Asuka to win the match. This would led to her promo saying that, I'm doing things I shouldn't be doing. I'm better than this. And, Ric Flair said, I just was trying to expand the brand of the Flair name, and it's trying to, make it a household name, like a better household name than it already is. But she said, I want to believe you, but all I could believe is that you want to still be the nature boy with Flair. And instead of being what you say you are, as my biggest fan, my biggest cheerleader, and all that type of stuff, I think you want the spotlight on you to still show that you're still the nature boy and you're still with Flair. So she tells him to go home before walking away. Then we got a match with Naomi versus Lana. I did it once again. Naomi and Lana versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. And I didn't really care for that match. But, they still promote the fact that Lana and Naomi still got a championship match against Nia Jackson and Sonya Blazer. Lana and Naomi used some tag team tandem, ended up beating and getting the pinfall of Mandy Rose. And looks like they put in Mandy Rose and Dana Brooks on the back runner. As they was about to move them forward, but now they're not really trying to anymore. But yeah, didn't really care for that match, but I know Lana and Naomi won. We got a match with Ricochet versus AJ Styles, which was a good match in itself. It's just a shame that they try to book it and promote it around. Almost, it's like they almost ready to get and wanted to debut almost, but they were booking it to basically show off his impressive strength and feet and height and all that type of stuff. It was more about almost than it was about AJ Styles and Ricochet, but it was a good match, and AJ Styles ended up getting a win with the Styles Clash. Then we get to the main event of the night, which is Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. and this was the best match of the night because it was well booked, it was well executed. You had the best spot came from where Braun Strowman hit the run slam, his finisher on Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley kicked out. Then you had Bobby Lashley go back on the offense and hit Braun Strowman with a spear for the win to become the sole #1 contender and to keep the championship match between him and The Miz a 1-on-1 match. And it will be next week. It will be The Miz versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship in a 1-on-1 match next week. Overall, I would give the show 7 big ups just because I was going to give it a 6. I thought about it. I was going to give it a 6, but I gave it a 7 just because of the Rhea Ripley promo and the excellent execution of the main event. Cause it made almost all the other stuff tolerable just because we still had that, but in all, I gave it a 7 because the most impressive thing that came out, the most thing that had me captivated throughout the night was this potential. It was the Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman match and the Rhea Ripley promo. Like, if I would have to say, like with the Matt Riddle versus John Morrison, that was an okay match. I have no problem with it. It was decent. Did what it needed to do. But the Bad Bunny and R-Truth backstage promo, I really didn't think it was necessary or really care for, because we know eventually R-Truth was going to win the championship back, right? The New Day match, the tag team match with New Day and Mace and T-Bar, was a repetitive match that I didn't really care for. Like, I could honestly, we could have did without that because we need to see a one-on-one between R-Truth and Mustafa Ali, and they need to give that to us. I mean, anything else I had, the Lucha House Party match I didn't really care about. That's another eyesore. The Damien Priest match was okay. The Randy Orton's promo was okay. I didn't really care for the Charlotte Flair match or the Jeff Hardy match, Jeff Hardy versus Shamus, and Naomi and Lana versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. Really didn't care for those matches either, but they wasn't bad matches. The only thing I would say that was a bad match was the Naomi versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. I consider it bad because it just really didn't have that much story. Charlotte Flair versus Asuka and Nia Jax. Charlotte Flair and Asuka versus Nia Jax and Sonya Blazer was a match that I really didn't care for either, other than the fact that it just tried to build up more story for Charlotte than it should be for Asuka. But everything else, the AJ Styles match was cool, and it was an excellent main event with Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. But that's all I got for y'all. Kind of short video today, but that's all I got. If you like this episode, you want to let me know what you like or dislike, let me know in the comments down below. Once again, appreciate to everybody who watched the videos. And share and keep them coming. Get more. Tell your friends and your loved ones. Tell everybody to come watch the video so everybody can enjoy my beautiful voice, my beautiful face, and my championship and my reviews. And appreciate y'all. Also, we still got to go 100 subscribers. I need those who are not subscribed, who I know watch the video, to subscribe. And see you in the next video. Peace.